Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Tittle Tattle Tarot. It's Georgie. And on the table today, I have the Tarot of the Abyss, quite a dark tarot for a dark subject. If you're not British, you may not know this person, but I really like you to carry on watching because it's a very interesting case. And, it really might hold parallels with some of the things that are going on in your own country at the moment. But it is a fascinating case and a very sad one. Today, I am looking at the assassination of Jill Dando. Jill Dando was a reporter with the BBC. But she'd been a reporter for a lot of years, and she really worked her way up through, sort of regional programs into the BBC and national reporting and international reporting. Her assassination was in 1999, and I am calling this an assassination, not a murder. Jill Dando was selling her house in London, and she very rarely went there. It was on the market, and she just needed to go there and collect a few things. And in 1999, she was about to get married. She had a really good life. She was doing very, very well with her career. As far as we know, she didn't have any enemies or anything like that. She'd gone to her home to collect some things, and she was basically approached from the behind. The person grabbed her around the neck, pulled her down to the tiled floor of the front step, put the gun to her head, and pulled the trigger at point blank range. The gun was pressed so hard against her temple that there was virtually no noise and minimum blood. The person knew what they were doing. The bullet was actually handmade as well. So, this wasn't just a common garden criminal. This wasn't just your, young person who's just got a gun and decided to, rob someone or what have you. It was executed within 30 seconds and left minimal things behind. So, very, very professionally done. I'm calling it an assassination. A man did get arrested and imprisoned for this, but the man that they arrested and imprisoned was a man with very low IQ, sort of a career criminal who, it wasn't his method of doing things. I don't think he'd ever done anything like that before. He was more sort of petty crimes, sexual assaults, that sort of thing. His name is Barry George, and he served 8 years for it. Poor man. He wasn't a very nice man, but he didn't deserve to serve 8 years for that. So I'm not even going down the Barry George route, but I have got several scenarios here. What actually was it all about? Why did this woman get assassinated? What had she done to deserve to be assassinated? Well, nobody deserves it, do they? She's a beautiful woman. She looked very much like Diana, Princess of Wales. She was about 2 years older than myself, so I could really relate to her when all this happened. So I'm going to ask the cards. First of all, I'm going to ask whether it was a Serbian hitman. At that time, there was a terrible war going on, and there were Kosovan Albanian refugees fleeing from ethnic cleansing. It was absolutely dreadful, and she reported on it, and it said that Serbia did not like that at all, and that it was a Serbian hitman who executed her. So is that what happened? We've got the Seven of Swords in reverse. Seven of Swords is this is your fighting card. This is, the the Serbian War, and this is how it was viewed, and the bullying, the ethnic cleansing, all that really unpleasantness, all that unpleasantness. But it's in reverse. I don't think that the people involved at the top level of this war, she would have been small fry. You know, someone like Jill Dando reporting on this, I don't think they would have been, they wouldn't have bothered themselves with someone like Jill Dando, if that sounds right. You know, she wasn't big enough fry. Okay, she was reporting on it, and she was leading a fundraiser and what have you to help out the Kosovans and the Albanian refugees. But you know, this was a terrible war raging out there. I think that they had, I don't mean better things to do, but they could have gone after much higher up people than someone working for the BBC, you know, as a news reporter. This is in reverse. I don't think it was that. I don't think it was. And weakness. I think to them, going after a female reporter would have been a very weak thing to do. You know, they would have gone for someone higher up, and they would have gone for a man or a group or something. I just think that they would have seen it. This is just the feeling that I'm getting off these cards. They would have seen that as a very weak thing to do, to go after a female reporter. I don't see this. I really don't. They wouldn't have thought that was a strong, manly thing to do, go after this woman who is fundraising. That's the impression I'm getting. And we've got the fool in reverse. You know, this way up, yeah, maybe so, you know, going there, doing it. I mean, the fool's journey doesn't have to be a good journey, you know, it's just something that you do, and you go and you sort it out, you do it, you embark on something. No, this is not starting something. This is not coming over to England and doing this particular thing. I get a no from this. I just think that they would have gone for someone higher up, and they would have gone for maybe more of an organization. They would have gone for, I think they would have gone for a man. I don't know. We're going back a lot of years, going back 20 years. And I just think they wouldn't have seen that a female reporter just doing some fundraising. I don't think it was their MO, to be honest with you. And the fool in reverse, no, there's no start on that. That's what the cards are telling me regarding a Serbian hitman. It was, I don't want to say beneath them to go for a woman, but it wasn't. That's not what they would have done. So, was it a stalker? Was it like an obsessed fan? You know what it's like. Everybody, not everybody, but a lot of these very attractive women, and you know, anybody who works in a very public position like that, they get stalkers and they get weirdos following them. Was it something to do with that? Some kind of fan who just stalked her and got obsessed by her? Was it something like that? No, I don't think it was. She definitely had these people, and it caused her 10 of cups. It caused her a lot of emotional upset. So I am sure that she was plagued, like many women, probably men as well, in the media, get these letters, these approaches from people that are totally unwanted and make you feel emotionally unstable in your home. And I do not doubt that she had a lot of people, or a lot of men, that sent her unwelcome whatever, letters, proposals, you know, got in touch with her, and she was very uncomfortable with it, and it caused her a lot of emotional trouble, and maybe feeling insecure in her own home, because this is very much, you know, so the 10 of cups, your home, your emotional feelings. So I'm sure that that was the case. She had people following her and sending her messages that she didn't want. But I see from these two cards, no, it wasn't anybody that would do that. Nine of Pentacles is pretty much, plodding on, and I don't get from this the kind of energy of somebody that would have a handmade bullet and would assassinate someone. The Nine of Pentacles, it's slow and steady energy. I can see this being like the men, perhaps, we'll say men, it's more likely to be men, isn't it, that would stalk someone like her, would be ploddy individuals, who would just much rather do it behind a keyboard or send a letter, or they wouldn't assassinate her, if you like. And I think, yeah, that's the truth. King of Swords is the truth. It's no, truthfully, it was not some kind of deranged fan or anything like that. So that's that one. So was it the UK underworld, like the crime underworld? She did something called Crime Watch, in which, we had all different crimes that were happening in this kingdom, and she would publicize them on Crime Watch and ask for witnesses. So quite an out there sort of job, quite confrontational. So was it some kind of gangland killing from the criminal underworld in the UK? Was it something like that? Well, her Wheel of Fortune was upright. She was doing really well on this program. She loved doing it. And Five of Wands, I think that it did cause her, again, I think it caused her worry. And I think that there, again, that kind of fighting energy, I'm sure that there were people that were really angry about this and very disgruntled about the work that she did, but she absolutely loved it, and her Wheel of Fortune was on top. She was doing so well in her job, very, very well respected. And I think, to be honest with you, even by the criminal underworld, she was probably respected. She wasn't a policeman, she wasn't a police person. She was just a reporter, very attractive woman. And I don't see this either as being, some kind of assassination, that they would go to an assassination on this. Okay, so my fourth scenario is regarding, and I have to be very careful how I say this, child S.A. Now, she was a Baptist. She was a very religious woman, beautiful woman, very very morally good. And she had been looking into child SA, and she had sent a report to the BBC, and they always refused, and they said, no, we never got anything. We never got anything that related to her findings, never at all. My question now is about child SA and the BBC. This was 1999. Had she uncovered something really unpleasant regarding child SA within the BBC, within some very powerful people at the BBC? Is that what had happened? And she'd made her report known to the BBC. And this was something that, I'm not saying that the BBC did it, but I am saying that it was something that they wanted covered up. I have to be careful how I say these things, don't I? You know what I'm saying. All right. So was it to do with child SA that she had uncovered a child SA ring? We've got now lovers. Don't think of a sexual, lovers relationship. Think about a union, a business, people working together, choices, what you do. Um, she worked for the BBC for a lot of years. This was her world, basically. This was her not safe place, but this was everything to her. It was her community. That, I think that's the way I want to say it. It was her community. See the way the tree comes together and it all wraps in, and all the roots, all the foundation. This is her reporting, her BBC. This shows me that something went very wrong with that relationship. It's upended it. The roots are in the air now. The roots are in the air. I believe that from these cards, that she had uncovered something that put her BBC, her knowledge of certain people within the BBC, from being this like sort of lovely relationship, everything good, everything intertwined, all the roots, good working relationships, people that she knew within the BBC, perhaps. It's turned it upside down. It's turned her world upside down. There we have the sun in reverse. The sun in reverse, well, if you have the sun in reverse, the sun the right way up, this is a Rider-Waite image of the baby on the horse, and everything is glowing, everything is growing, everything's good in the world. A very feel-good card. Children, babies, children. We're in reverse here. The sun in reverse, it's pretty much the devil, really. Nothing can grow if you don't have sun illuminating the seeds, illuminating the earth. Everything withers and dies. There's no joy with the sun in reverse. It is devilish energy. And we have the Six of Swords, which is the traveling card. Moving on to new things. I think that she's found out about this and she wants to move with it. She wants to I'm not saying leave the BBC, but she wants to run with this story. She's had other things, like that Serbian war, like all different things like Crime Watch. But when she's uncovered what's going on here, this is the thing that she wants to run with and take out to the world. This terrible, heinous crime that's been going on with SA abuse of minors. I think it was this latter one here. And this makes me deeply uncomfortable looking at these cards, deeply uncomfortable. I'm just going to go back. We had the Serbian war. And I honestly think with the Serbian war, these Serbian men would not have attacked her for that, for raising money. They didn't like it, but they would have seen it as weak. They would not have gone there. They wouldn't have gone there, because to attack a woman like that, they would have attacked someone in a higher position, and they wouldn't have done it. From these cards, I get such a strong feeling it wasn't to do with the war. Was it an obsessed fan? No, she had obsessed fans. She definitely did, and it caused her sleepless nights, and it caused her, a lot of emotion coming out of her. She didn't feel safe often at home because, probably phone calls and things like that. But the kind of people that we're talking about here, it was slow. They were ploddy. They probably lived with their mothers in a basement, a bit like internet trolls today, you know, that kind of energy. No. And the truth is, King of Swords, the truth is no, it wasn't. Someone like that didn't have handmade bullets and didn't assassinate people on their doorsteps. And then the other one was regarding Crime Watch, the criminal underworld of the UK. Her wheel was on top. She was doing really well with that. She absolutely loved it. And yeah, there were people who didn't like what she was doing, but this is not Five of Wands here. It's a niggling, this bloody woman. It would be this bloody woman doing this program. That's what the criminal underworld would have thought. They wouldn't have assassinated her. I really can't see it from this card, especially with these two. No, I don't get that energy off this. But the one that I do get the energy from is the child SA ring, abuse. Let's just have one more look at these cards. Her beloved BBC, the people that she worked with, very trusted celebrities who've been within the BBC for a long time. She probably knew these people, and turning it all upside down. Well, her world's been turned upside down. Her beloved company, the roots are in the air. The sun is in reverse. Nothing can grow for her now from this company, because it's basically, it's such demonic energy. And she wants to run with this, to fly with it, not run away, but tell the world. And she gets a message out to the BBC and they refuse. They say, well, oh, we never got it after she's been assassinated. Well, she never told us about her concerns about this. We didn't know. So there are a few things I want you to know now. When Jill Dando was a little girl, she would have been a little girl at the same time as I was, you know, because we were only a few years apart in age. She watched, like I watched, and like everyone of my age watched, Jim Will Fix It. And we all loved Jim Will Fix It. I'm not saying we loved Jimmy Savile, but it was such a great program. And Jimmy Savile, the old abuser himself, he ran this program and he made dreams come true for children. She wrote in to Jimmy Savile because she wanted to do something on television. I don't know what her dream was for him to fix. She didn't get on the program, but her, like I, and like many other people, obviously at that time thought Jimmy Savile was like Santa Claus. He was like Father Christmas. He made your dreams come true. And if she'd have grown up thinking how wonderful Jimmy Savile was, and then this had come to her attention, I think that she was not the type of person that would just let that go. A lot of people in the BBC turned their eyes to this. A lot of people knew what was going on, and they turned a blind eye to it. So the whole Jimmy Savile thing came out in 2012. And then the BBC couldn't ignore it anymore. So I'm just going to ask one more time. Was this all to do with Savile? Was this all to do with Savile? Was she assassinated because of her knowledge about an SA ring regarding children that was so terrible, so vile, and involved a lot of very, very powerful people? Involved a lot of powerful people. Well, we've got two lots of threes here. Threes are like working together or not. She's seen this. She's seen this. Let me put it up the right way. So we've got them all up the right way for the moment. Three of Pentacles. This is working together. This is a group of people working together, financially, benefiting financially. But look, it's in reverse. This is not benefiting well. This is not a good working together. And she saw this. This is people who do not have good morals, do not have good things on their minds. This is like all pulling in the right direction, doing the right thing. This is doing the wrong thing. The group of people at the BBC, groups of celebrities, groups of people that, you know, that the British public trusted, that behind the scenes were doing things for money that were corrupt. And I think that Jill Dando wasn't on her own. I think that she had told a few people around her, a very few people. I know she had a fiance. He wasn't involved in media, but she had a brother who was a journalist. I don't think she told him because he didn't seem to know anything about it. But I think there were a couple of people that she confided in, and I believe that she certainly let the BBC know what she had uncovered. This is her, it's like her giving the BBC the cup of information, the cup of, you know, emotion, the stuff that she's uncovered to the BBC. And here you are, you have the burden of it, the burden of it. I don't think the cup that she gave to them was accepted. I think that they conveniently said they never got it. They never got that message. They never got that from her. This was a tremendous burden to her. It really was, that she had this knowledge. And I think she was only at the beginning of uncovering it all. According to my cards, I think Jill Dando was assassinated because she'd uncovered a child SA ring within the good old BBC. I'm not saying that the BBC directly did this, but I am saying that they had a hand in it. Whoever did it was never found. Conveniently, this guy, Barry George, served 8 years for it. They keep fluffing things over, saying that it was something to do with Serbia or something to do with the underworld, you know, and keep glossing over anything to do with Savile, anything to do with these vile men that are still around now. And this is all still going on. Yeah, I think she was assassinated because of what she knew about what was happening. Dark subject. I would love to know what you think. Anyway, let's leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.